this is what blows me away about Iran, about the war with Iran. There's no way he could have gone in not knowing that it would have raised gas prices. There's no way somebody didn't tell him that.
Everybody in that room who has even the most tangential, fractional, ethereal connection to reality understood what would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Defense Department war games that have been planned out over the last 75 years that have set up. You could close the strait cheaply by throwing out mines. People, they forget Iran has a massive inventory of these old Russian sea mines. And folks, here's why they bought them back in the 60s and 70s or 80s and 90s rather, excuse me. They bought them in the 80s and 90s because they were basically like $8 a piece. I kid you not. They these cheap Russian sea mines, and they just put them out in the water and float them around.
Yeah. And the pause in the war, I think, was interesting. If the ceasefire had held, I think the pause in the war would have made more sense. But all we've done now is given Iran more time, and time is on their side. And we've talked about
this. They have got a deep play here, and the longer. The other part of this is if Trump was going to do this, the smarter way to have done it, if you insisted on doing it, would have been to launch this in the summer of 25.
Yeah.
And then try to let it sugar out. But now we will still be shooting at Iran on election day, folks.
And it's funny, you read the articles and it's like the U.S. has hit X and Y military target. And we heard from Pete Hegseth for, 6 months that
Iran was a
smoking wasteland.
We had devastated them, obliterated.
I was told their military was totally gone. They were incapable of fighting back.
Right.
I don't know what happened to that.
They sank the whole Navy.
Yeah.
I've been told. That's what I was told over and over.
Yeah.
The Navy has been sunk. There is no Iranian Navy left. It's all gone.
No missile sites, no Navy, no drones. Yeah. That's what we were told.
Who knew?
And of course, that turned out to be not true. And the Defense Department, in other news, is now testing people for low testosterone.
Nothing cries out closeted gay dude like Pete Hegseth every time he goes on camera and starts talking about manly men's testosterone.
I think he probably spends a little too much time on TikTok with, the looks maxing influencers. I think he's probably, I think that Pete Hegseth may be sort of down that rabbit hole with, clavicular and those sort of,
Andrew, that's actually setting aside the joke of that. It's actually not a bad theory of the case of why he's so weird about this stuff.
I think he really might be.
He's got some reinforcement mechanism telling him, you're a manly warfighter, Pete. You're a manly man who's a manly man whose manliness is so manly.
I can see him with the ball peen hammer doing a little bone smashing.
Yeah. God bless. My favorite influence, or my favorite Looks Maxer story was from last week, where a Looks Maxer in Thailand, police came to his house and he jumped into a lake and did not realize he couldn't swim and drowned.
Wow. That's tough.
Nothing about looks maxing is related to brain maxing, apparently.
No, definitely not.